What's up, Poké Fam? Welcome to today's video. My name's Isaac, I'm the Pokéman, and today I'm going to be going over my top 10 reasons why the Pokemon market has exploded. And if you're new here, make sure to fire blast that subscribe button and thundershock the like button. Join the Poké Fam, the most positive community on YouTube. And just a disclaimer on this video, I know I'm going to be talking about a few controversial topics, but these are just my opinions and my own personal beliefs. And I would love to hear if you guys disagree or have different thoughts about any one of these top 10 things that I'm going to list, if you'd rank them in a different order, whatever. These things are really difficult to rank because it's sort of like a snowball effect. When one thing occurs in the Pokemon market, it affects another thing, and it's sort of just been this whole snowball effect. Also, before we get started, I have one announcement to make, and that is that once we reach 500 subscribers, I'm going to be doing another awesome giveaway. It's likely going to be coming from like Hidden Fates or Shining Fates, and it's going to be an awesome giveaway for you guys. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, share this with other people, spread the love, and let's go. Reason number one, at the beginning of the pandemic or the COVID situation, there were a lot of companies that were deemed non-essential and had to basically stop production, stop business for some time. Believe it or not, Pokemon cards fell into this category, and the Pokemon company had to stop printing for a few months there. So there were a few months where they just got more and more behind, just as other companies had to do at that time. But this created a huge gap in the supply and has been hard to catch up ever since then. So Pokemon's been playing catch up. They just released a couple days ago some news about upcoming reprints for the rest of this year, which I'm really excited about. Hopefully I'll get to do a video where I dig in a little bit more deep into all the reprints. A lot of these things are going to be supply and demand issues, which you're probably tired of hearing of, but it's absolutely true, and that's exactly what's happening with the Pokemon card community right now. Alright, reason number two also has to deal with the COVID situation and a lot of people being trapped in their homes and looking for things to do. Some boredom kicks in, and Pokemon, pretty much trading card games in general, just picked up traction and became very popular because this was something that people and families could do in their homes and be a part of. And so there was a huge increase in interest, and this just drove up the demand. And this is happening all across trading card games. You look at Magic, they are having supply issues. Sports cards, baseball, basketball, football, all of them. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Is having some shortages. Not as bad and not as prominent as Pokemon, but it's happening all across the board. So it's not just Pokemon that's having this large issue. Reason number three. In my opinion, Pokemon has been releasing a lot better product, a lot better cards, and a lot better sets over the last few years than they had several years before that. Some of the highest quality products began with, it's hard to say when they began actually, but within the last 3 or 4 years. And so you sort of see this like build up. And if you've been collecting for more than, I'd say like 2 years, if you've been an active collector, you kind of felt this sort of ball starting to pick up and gain momentum as the sets were becoming a little more fun to open. It kind of started with, let's say, like Evolutions and the 20th anniversary, and then it moved on to Shining Legends. You have Burning Shadows, Unified Minds, Unbroken Bonds, and then you get into the Team Up series and all those that were a lot of fun. You had EX cards and GX full art cards, you had secret rares, you've had V cards and VMAX cards, my goodness. And then this last year with Hidden Fates, I kind of saw Hidden Fates as sort of the set that broke the camel's back. I was about to purchase a couple singles one week, and I put it off 1 week, so the next week they had like quadrupled in price, and so that's the point where I'm like, okay, we're never going back to the way it was before. And I personally believe that we are not going back to the way it was before 2020 as far as Pokemon collecting goes. But is there going to be a decline? I don't know. We'll talk about that in a minute. Reason number 4, influencers. People like Logan Paul and Leonhardt have become faces for the Pokemon TCG. very much so, and have a huge following that is increasing and increasing, as well as bringing a whole lot of new exposure into the Pokemon card community. Now, do I think this is bad? No. I actually think this is a really good thing. It helps the Pokemon company, and it helps the market in general. Yes, prices are increasing, and no, that's not going to happen forever. We are going to see some stabilization, which we haven't hit yet. And actually, I'm a little bit surprised we haven't hit it yet. And I think as the pandemic sort of comes to a close, we're going to see the Pokemon TCG sort of stabilize. Like I said, it won't go back to the way it was before 2020. That's just probably not possible. There's too many people that are going to stick around and have lifelong interest from now on. Number 5, investors. Investors have played a huge role in the Pokemon market, specifically in the last year or year and a half. They have had a huge impact on the Pokemon market. These are people that there are people that have interest in Pokemon and want to invest in it, but there's a lot of people outside of Pokemon that are like thinking this is a really good opportunity to invest and make some money off of this. And basically, investors are interested in increasing the value of the card. They're interested in increasing the value of the Pokemon company as a whole, as well as making a profit off of the cards. But this side of Pokemon, the investing side of Pokemon, was very minimal before 2020 because a lot of people didn't realize that this had value. If you go back to the year 2000, there are articles that say Pokemon card like the first edition Charizard hits $150. This is too much and the Pokemon market is going to crash. Holy cow, were they wrong. And I think there were some investors that picked up stuff back then and still have stuff today. There have been investors along the whole way that have that trust in the Pokemon market, but as the demand and as the value of the Pokemon company rises, of course there's going to be investors that jump into this that are not interested in Pokemon. Of course there's going to be people that are interested in Pokemon that become investors. So that is another huge aspect of the market that is driving things up. Number 6, 90s kids. These are kids that grew up with Pokemon, loved it back in the day, lost it during their teenage years, and are now adults with disposable income and want to buy their childhood back. This is the majority of people that I speak to. I've probably got some viewers here, a lot of the Poké Fam, you're probably fall into this category, but believe it or not, this actually is, I think, a healthy thing for the market, but it drives it up. Obviously, there's another thing that has sort of exploded with the market. And when I talk about the snowball rolling, there's been things that have induced sort of this influx of people that grew up with Pokemon and are now getting back into it, obviously, but they have this rekindled flame, which is why I say things won't go back to the way they were pre-2020. They may sort of like drop down where there's a hype of people that don't have sustainable interest in Pokemon, but I think there are a lot of people that do. Another thing that supports their craze as an adult is having kids that love Pokemon, and it's bringing their family together, it's bringing them closer to their kids, and I love that. I love that so much. That is like my favorite thing about Pokemon. Just the other day, I had the opportunity to create my own little custom booster packs and take them to a family that has a few little kids that they're not able to find any Pokemon cards on the shelf, and those kids went ballistic and it was so much fun. If you're watching this, I hope you enjoy those cards, and I just love seeing that fire light up in people's eyes and being able to enjoy the hobby together. I think that is really the driving factor for a lot of this, is the connections that we build with other people. This Pokemon community is amazing, and the fact that and that's another thing, is that the actual Pokemon card community is driving up the market. It's bringing more people in because it's such a fun community to be involved with, which is why there's a lot more content creators, there's a lot more collectors. All of it is because the culture is fun. Reason number 7, there's a lot more information out there circulating around and a lot more knowledge about what the value of each card is. This is creating a lot more informed collectors out there that know exactly what the value of each card is. It stops people from selling them too low, and it also stops people from selling them too high. because sellers know what they're supposed to be selling at and buyers know what they're supposed to be paying. And so buyers don't let sellers get away with that, and sellers don't let buyers get away with a whole lot anymore. It's tightening up that market, which actually, because there's more information out there, people feel a lot more comfortable in investing in cards and not getting ripped off. Reason number 8, scalpers. Scalpers have been an issue this last year. And basically what I mean by scalpers, and the reason this is different than investors, that's important to know, is that scalpers are trying to take advantage of the market sort of as a middleman. They are seeing the opportunity to buy countless product at MSRP, and then before stores even get a chance to sell that for that price, they're trying to make a profit off of it. And although this is a great strategy for making a quick buck here or there, it's not sustainable, because basically right now the scalpers are able to take advantage of the market because there is a supply and demand problem out there. There's little supply, so if they're able to snatch it up, of course they're going to be able to sell it for significantly higher than MSRP. Of course they're going to be able to do that. However, as there becomes more product on the shelf, and I talked about reprints, we are going to be getting reprints. We're going to be able to start seeing things on the store shelves, and hopefully at a lower end price. Hopefully Pokemon doesn't jack up prices. I don't see that happening, but it possibly could. But basically, as we see more stock on the shelf, the scalpers are not going to be able to scalp very much anymore. It's going to turn into long-term investors if that's what they want to do, right? Reason number 9. YouTubers and YouTube culture. YouTubers play a significant role in influencing people into the hobby, into Pokemon. And since there's been an influx of YouTubers, again with the pandemic, people are stuck in their houses looking for something to do, want to create something too, and there's an influx in YouTubers, and not just in the Pokemon subcategory, but in pretty much every subcategory of YouTube channel that you can find. There's extra people that are creating content. And it's a good time to be a content creator. Is this driving up prices and bringing more people into the hobby? It has a role to do in that, but I think that it's just a small part of all the craze. Reason number 10 is Pokemon's 25th anniversary. Of course they're going to go all out for their 25th anniversary. They're Nintendo. Nintendo goes all out for 25th anniversaries. Companies in general, that is a big landmark to hit, and they usually celebrate. And not only is the Pokemon Company and Nintendo celebrating, but all of the fans are celebrating with them. And with this increased craze before the 25th anniversary, this couldn't have worked out any better for Pokemon. It set them up perfectly to execute all their plans and to make this just a really big year. My thought is by the end of the year, when they do like the year in review, Pokemon is going to be on there somewhere, and it's going to be a really big thing because it's not stopping now. We have artists like Katy Perry and Logic and Post Malone that are collaborating. We had the Logan Paul box break. We have all these awesome sets and other things that have not been announced yet. Video games. Another thing that comes to my mind is the upgrade with Pokemon Go that is planned for virtual reality, where you put on goggles and you'll be able to see Pokemon everywhere. That's going to be revolutionary, and Pokemon has its name slapped on a technology like that, which is pretty awesome. So Pokemon knows what they're doing. Don't forget that Pokemon is the highest grossing media franchise in history, in the entire world. They beat out companies like Marvel, Star Wars, Lego, huge multi-million, billion-dollar companies that are not even close to what Pokemon has to offer financially. And so Pokemon has a wonderful marketing team. They are really careful and know what they're doing by now to get us product that we want and that fans are going to go crazy for. All right, one more question that I wanted to attempt to answer, or at least give my insight or opinion on, that you guys have probably been wondering. I've been asked this a few times. Is the Pokemon bubble going to pop? That is a huge concern for all of the collectors and investors out there because Pokemon is value, and if you have collected a bunch of Pokemon assets, even if you're just a collector, you want to know that those will hold value or increase in value, and that those will be good places to have put your money, right? So my thought is that and I mentioned this before, as the pandemic sort of rolls to an end, we're going to see it stabilize. It won't go back to the pre-2020 era, but it will remove some of the scalping issue that's a problem, some of the supply issue that's driving up new product. Now, if you are a vintage collector, and if you have any vintage product, that is going to steadily increase over time. And we are getting closer to seeing our first $1 million Pokemon card, which is going to be a really monumental point for Pokemon, and I don't think it's going to stop from there. Logan Paul has 5 more first edition base set booster boxes that he says he wants to open. He says he wants to open every one in the world, or at least buy every one of those boxes in the world. So that is a huge task, a strong commitment, but every time that one of those boxes gets broken open, it is going to be huge news. It's going to be a big deal for everyone inside and outside of the hobby, but it is so much fun to see those cards get opened and to live that nostalgic experience. It really is, and you have to have a lot of respect for the cards. Alright, Poké Fam, thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it had some good information to help you, particularly for those who are jumping into the hobby and it's very overwhelming. If you're a new collector, hopefully this was helpful for you. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. Drop a comment. I love answering questions about Pokemon cards. But thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like the video, be positive out there, stay excellent to each other, and happy hunting.